Welcome to Gray Propaganda, where we discuss the lies, falsehoods, and politics of the day. Today we have an article from MSNBC. Despite commitment, Trump hedges on scheduled debate with Harris by Steve Benen. Steve writes, Donald Trump agreed to a September 10th presidential debate. Then he reversed course. Then he reversed course again. Now he's apparently changing his mind again. Let's see, Steve. First, Biden gets absolutely slammed in the one and last debate he'll ever be in. And now VP Kamala has to step in. Then Kamala tried to change the rules, allowing her to talk over Trump to try and devolve the debate into a shouting match. Now, why would she do that? Why would that be? She wants to have a shouting match. She does not want to talk about her policies or anything of substance. She has nothing to stand on, avoiding any interview and trying to change the rules of the debate to weasel out of them. I bet RFK Jr. would just love to be given the presidential party nomination without having to work for it, having to campaign for it, or have anyone vote for them. Let's take a quick look at the video on the page before getting into the article.
Joining me now are Charles Coleman, an MSNBC analyst and co-host of the NBC special Black Men in America, The Road to 2024, and Alexis McGill-Johnson, president of the Planned Parenthood Action Fund. It is great to have you both here. Alexis, you were on the stage in Chicago. We just laid out kind of the ways in which the Democratic Party has reframed a lot of the debates. But one of the things that I thought was so interesting was the way in which reproductive choice was a theme returned to again and again and again over the course of the convention, as were family values, right? There was a time in which I think the Democratic Party would have been maybe more trepidatious about tackling abortion and trying to reframe traditional family values. At the same time, there was no hesitation. That there was a firm belief that you can be pro-choice, believing in bodily autonomy, and also being absolutely pro-family.
Absolutely, right? I mean, look, I think the way in which the vice president has now taken on the mantle, right, and reframed the conversation to be one about trusting women, right? That really illustrated for me what the political project is that she's advancing. It is a multiracial feminist democracy. That means what happens when you actually put women at the center of your policy making and thinking. How does that expand how we think about healthcare? How does that expand how we think about care? How does it expand all of the things that we need to do to improve our economies, our communities, right? And it's such a great contrast because Donald Trump, is proud of taking away, reproductive rights for 50% of the population.
So here we go with the article from Steve Benen. I'll start with the latest update, August 27th. At 3:04 p.m., Donald Trump on Tuesday, after calling for ABC News to be shut out of the presidential debates a day earlier, said he will participate in the network's September 10th debate with Kamala Harris. Keeping up with Donald Trump's positions on presidential debates has been like watching a mist-shaped ball bounce in unpredictable directions as the post-convention general election phase begins in earnest. The problem always seems to be getting worse, the Washington Post reported. Former President Donald Trump suggested Sunday evening that he might skip September 10th debate with VP Kamala after agreeing to participate as GOP presidential nominee earlier this month. Furthermore, before delving into the Republicans' latest online tantrum, let's review how we arrived at this point. In mid-May, Trump agreed to a debate schedule with Biden, including a September 10th event on ABC News, when the former president assumed his opponent would be President Joe Biden, after the Democratic incumbent passed the torch to Harris. That's a very colorful way of putting Kamala being placed into power without any voting, without anyone having any say in it. Trump abandoned his any place, anywhere chest thumping and took a variety of clumsy steps to back out of his earlier debate commitments because Kamala wanted to change the rules. It's a different person, different rules. In fact, 3 weeks ago, Team Trump made what appeared to be a categorical announcement. The GOP candidate would not participate in the ABC News September 10th presidential debate. And then things got even weirder. The article continues with 7 days after backing out of the debate, Trump reversed course and re-accepted the invitation. Around the same time, the former president held a Mar-a-Lago press conference in which he also announced the dates of other upcoming debates that hadn't been negotiated and therefore might not occur. And Trump definitely is the type of person who wants to debate anywhere, any place, anytime, just fairly with rules that are agreed upon by both members. 2 days later, on August 11th, Trump published a middle-of-the-night missive to his social media platform, further alerting the public to a made-up debate schedule, pointing to events that no one had agreed to. Wow. By and large, much of the political world simply ignored the Republicans' odd rambling and remained focused on the September 10th debate that both campaigns had agreed to. That is, until Trump published a new rant that put the future of that event in doubt. Now, he continues to talk about how Kamala wants to change the rules, how it's a different person, how Trump didn't want ABC News being in charge of it, because honestly, with ABC News moderating with no muted mics, it could get pretty ugly. I think Trump wants to talk about the policies and dig deep into getting Kamala on the record so she can't flip-flop anymore, which would be great if the mics were muted so she can actually speak about these topics. But here we are, skipping a bit down in the article here. Complicating matters further, Politico reported that Harris and Trump campaigns are still negotiating in terms of the schedule September 10th debate. There's a lot of covering the same facts over and over in this article. That's why I'm trying to skip through a lot of the repeated nonsense. According to the reporting, which has not been independently reviewed by MSNBC or NBC News, members of the Team Harris want the microphones to stay on in keeping with modern practices because they assume Trump won't be able to keep his composure for 90 minutes. If they think he won't be able to keep his composure when they want the mics muted, this doesn't make any sense to me. We have told ABC and other networks seeking to host a possible October debate that we believe both candidates' mics should be live throughout the full broadcast. Brian Fallon, a senior advisor on the Harris campaign, told Politico. Goes on and finishes with, in case this weren't already complicated, Trump denounced ABC News again on Monday morning, telling NBC News that ABC should be shut out of the debates. The Republican, as part of the same comments, said he doesn't care about the microphones issue, contradicting his own team, adding that his focus is on the networks, as it should be. He needs fair moderators, especially if you're not going to mute the microphones. I'd much rather do it on NBC, he said. I'd much rather do it on CBS. Frankly, I think CBS is very unfair, but the best of the group. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. And certainly I'd do it with Fox. I'd even do it on CNN. I thought that CNN treated us very fairly last time. Trump went on to say that Harris doesn't want to debate, which was amusing given the circumstances. So we're both looking at the same picture here and taking two very, very different things away from it. It's just a matter of how you spin that propaganda, I suppose. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.